Green.
Okay, just put down the green button. Okay.
Yep.
So
okay.
Can you see my slide now?
Yes, we can. Go ahead. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you, Bas. Firstly, Bas is interested why I call David. I use David as my English name because my Mandarin name is Zheng Wei. But Zheng Wei in Chinese means people with very ambition and very brave. So my English teacher when I was a senior high school student, my English teacher gave me this name, David. Okay, hello everyone. Today I would like to show you a new ongoing research work and collaborate between GLEON members between Taiwan and Japan. This research work just started since this February. The title of my speech today is Spatial and Temporal Variation of Heavy Metals, Bioaccumulation under Changing Climate, the Effect of Ecosystem Metabolism and DOM Dynamic. I'm Zheng Wei Cai, and I'm from the Department of Biological Science and Technology at China Medical University, but the university is in Taiwan rather than in mainland China. Okay, the research background. The water pollution is a very critical environmental issue that threaten the health of aquatic animals and human beings in many Asian countries, such as Taiwan and mainland China, because of the poor wastewater treatment and the very intensive industrial productions. And as we know, estuary and lagoons are important sink for many pollutants, such as heavy metal or organic pesticide. And they are also very unique nursery or habitat for many wildlife, such as fish and bird. And they are also important production area for aquaculture farming, such as the shrimp, clay, and the fish productions in these countries. For now, the environmental factors that drives the spatial and temporal accumulation dynamic of heavy metals are still not unclear. Okay, about our research background. Actually, there are many water chemical factors that affect the waterborne heavy metal bioavailability and their accumulation within the body of aquatic organisms. For example, the competing chitons, such as hydrogen, helium, and sodiums. These competing chitons tends to compete with free metal ions at the binding site or ion channels at the field surface of aquatic organisms. This would reduce the amount of free metal ions for the respiratory uptake of aquatic organisms. Otherwise, the dissolved organic matter also tend to complex with free metal ions and thus lose their ion activity and reduce their bioavailability for the respiratory uptake. In general, the protective effect of DOM is much greater than their inorganic competitors, such as hardness and acidity. Substantial research indicates that large fractions of trace metal elements collected with DOM, and this will increase the amount and availability of metal DOM aggregations in the waters. Consequently, for long-term exposures, the net metal accumulation may increase in the presence of DOM because metal DOM aggregates provide extra metal resource available for dietary uptake. Yeah, this is our research hypothesis. We assume that ecosystem metabolism would drive the temporal and the spatial dynamic of heavy metal bioaccumulation by changing the production, composition, their sources, and their consumption of DOM by the aquatic food web. For example, we assume that at a period or size with higher level of endogenous DOM resulted from higher GBP, this will reduce the free metal ions. However, the DOM metal complex for heterotrophic process will be increased. Consequently, the higher ecosystem respiration together with higher GPP, this would result in higher net metal accumulation in aquatic ecosystems. And we assume that the phenomena will be more prevalent in winter or in eutrophic lake, because in this condition, they bio endogenous DOM will dominate the DOM pool within the lake or lagoons. Contrary, we assumed the loading of terrestrial DOM after rainy season or extreme rain events. This could reduce the net metal accumulations, because as we know, the terrestrial DOM is very recalcitrant for biological use. And we expect that then the phenomena will be more prevalent in rainy season or in lower productivity seasons, such as winter, or for the lakes located in higher latitude and altitude area, or for the lakes surrounded by nature forest. Because in these cases, the terrestrial DOM will demonstrate the whole DOM pool in the ecosystem. Okay, so the major research goal of our project is including the first is to understand how the DOM quality and quantity change to rainfall patterns in subtropical aquatic ecosystem. And the second, we aim to investigate how the ecosystem metabolism relates to the changes in DOM quality and quantity. And the third, we are going to demonstrate our hypothesis that the ecosystem metabolism plays a very important key role in driving the spatial and temporal dynamic of heavy metal residue in farmed oyster population. Okay, this slide shows our study site. It calls Qigu Lagoon, and the lagoon is one of the largest lagoon in Taiwan, and it located in the southwestern coastal area of Taiwan, seen here. And the area of the lagoon is about 1,600 hectares, with 5.5 kilometer in width and about 10 kilometer in length. This is the lagoon. It has a triangle shape. Okay, and the lagoon is one of the most important oyster production area, and part of the lagoon is assigned as an important conservation area for the protection of mangrove forests. They are also important habitat for some endangered migratory birds, such as the black-faced spoonbill. This bird is only inhabited in East Asia, and the total number of the bird is below than 2,000 across the globe. Okay, about our research methodology. We use in situ fluorescence and absorbance spectrometer to identify and to collect data or information about their resource, their changes in liability, and their concentration of DOM under different rainfall or other climate conditions. And some key water parameters, such as water temperature, chlorophyll A nutrients, conductivity, pH, and heavy metals are all collected by manually or by the instruments. And the dissolved oxygen signal is also all recorded by the sound for us to estimate the time series of GPPR and AEP we collect the oyster sample in order to analyze the time series or dynamic of heavy metal residues within the oyster. Okay. This is the sign map of our two buoys. The first buoy is located in the fresh water inflow. Buoy one. This area is very close to the mangrove forest. The area of the mangrove forest is about 20 hectares in this here. And the other buoy is located in the open area of the Chigu Lagoon. It's very close to the outlet of the lagoon to the open sea. And there are 3 sand dunes and divided the lagoon from the open sea. A 2 gap between the sea and the lagoon. This is the close look of the buoy 1. All the sensor and instruments are deployed under the bamboo raft, and those key important water chemistry data are recorded at our interval. And the background is the mangrove forest. It provides a source of terrestrial GLEON and nutrients. And there are thousands of birds inhabited in the forest. And this is the inflow of the fresh water, the channel. And this is our buoy 2. Also, the instruments are under the water. Here we can see the sand dune in the background, and there are a lot of oyster farming facility here and there around the buoy. Okay, this is the oyster. We use oyster as a bioindicator in our research because the first, they are immobile, so they are very easy to collect. The second is their population size is very, very large. And the third is they are very sensitive to changes in water quality, especially the concentration of heavy metal in the water. Okay, here I will show you some preliminary results of study. Because this study is just started in this February, so actually most of the data and samples are still under analysis. Here I will show you results from our preliminary study conducted in a smaller pond near the lagoon between 2015 and 2016. And this panel shows the bioconcentration factor of arsenic, lead, cadmium, and chromium. And we can see most of the metals shows very positive correlation to GPP and R, despite the regression slope and R square is somewhat different between heavy metals. And the positive correlationship between BCF and GPP and R are also observed in manganese, copper, and zinc. But we see a negative correlation between the GPP and R in nickel. So for this preliminary data, we can see the result can indirectly support our research hypothesis. That is the heavy metal, that is the ecosystem metabolism plays a very important role to drive the temporal dynamic of heavy metals in the lagoon. And we infer that most of accumulation of heavy metals are driven by endogenous GLEON, but nickel may be primarily affected by the terrestrial GLEON. Okay, so the next step, we are going to develop a 3D hydrodynamic and biochemistry model to simulate and to analyze the temporal and spatial variations of GLEON quality and quantity, nutrient concentration, and heavy metal concentrations under different climate conditions. The other GLEON member, Professor Keisuke Nakayama from University of Kobe, Japan, he is specialized in eco-hydrological modeling. Professor Nakayama will visit the lagoon this summer, and he will dedicate to develop model for the coming 1 years. And we might adopt the GLN model and FAB model, a space to develop our 3D model in the future. Okay. So for our future work, we're looking very forward to collect the global data via GLEON database in order to validate our research hypothesis in a more global context. We are looking very forward to compare with the data from lakes from temperate area, tropical area, or even the boreal area. So this is a very brief introduction to our new project. So if you are interested, please let us know, and you are very welcome to join us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, David. Any questions for David? Maybe we can do 1 or 2 quick questions, and then I guess we move on to the next part of the program. Mm-hmm. Any questions for David?
Yeah.
David, I've seen, of course, many projects on lake metabolism, and also DOM is not new for me in GLEON